Good evening, fifth graders. Today we're going to be in our third part of our decimals and fractions, okay? I'm going to be doing a lot of problems tonight, and I'm just going to give you a heads up on that. My advice is watch maybe the first 3 or 4 problems, and then when I get to a new problem on the next page, please press pause, and then try and solve the problem, and then watch how I solved it, all right? Let's take a look here at some of these problems here. Which is closer to 6? 0.6, I should say. Is it 0.5 or is it 0.53? Well, this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to write 0.6 as 0.60, okay? I'm going to write 0.0, my bad. I'm going to write 0.5, 0.5 as, I'm going to add a 0 to this because I can add as many zeros as I want. I'm going to write this one as 0.53. Well, and then I'm going to take a look at this as like 60, 50, and 53. So what number is closer to the number 60? Well, we know 53 is closer. So that makes 53 the answer. Let's take a look at another one here, okay? Which is closer to 0.3? Well, I'm going to write 0.3 as 0.30. This first one I'm going to write as 0.02. I'm going to write this second one as 0.20. All I'm adding is 0. So they have the same amount of digits after the decimal. That's really key because if I don't do that, I'm going to see this number as 2 and this number as 2. And I'm going to be going through my work so fast, I'm going to make mistakes, okay? So I'm trying to slow things down. Now I'm going to be able to take a look at it as I'm going to read this number as the number 2, this number as the number 30, this one as the number 20. So which one's closer to the number 30? 0.2 is. Not 0.02. Here's another one, which is closer to 0.8. So we have 0.8. We're going to add a 0 here, so it looks like 0.80. I'm going to have 0.77, 0.85. Well, if I do any kind of subtracting, so I'm going to take a look at these numbers. I'm going to read, instead of reading it as a 0.77, I'm going to read this as 77. I'm going to read this one as an 80. I'm going to read this one as 85. The difference between these kids is this one's a difference of 3. This was a difference of 5. So which one's closer? The smaller difference, which means 0.77 is closer. We're dealing with 0.75. Let's take a look at this number. I'm going to write this as 0.60. I'm going to write this one as 0.88. This bar means that it's 8 continuing on forever, okay? Now I'm taking a look at the difference here. I'm going to read these once again as the number 60, the number 75, and the number 88. Well, what's the difference? I have a difference of 15 here and I have a difference of 13 here. So which one's closer? A smaller number means it's closer. That means 0.8 continuing is closer. Which is closer to 0.75? You kind of see the pattern of this now, kids? Right here we have 0.60, 0.88. I'm going to read this as 60, 75, 88. I feel like I just did this problem. I did. We'll keep going. Okay. Use the calculator to convert these fractions to decimals. Okay. Well, this is, remember what I told you on the very first day. This right here, when you read it, the line might be kind of hard. This means divide. So when I'm trying to find half as a decimal, all I have to do is go 1. Okay. All right, I had to switch calculators. So this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go 1 divided by 2 equals 0.5 is my answer, okay? This next one, 2/4. How would I do this? 2 divided by 4 equals 0.5. The reason why I'm not writing this down, kids, is I had to go back to my desk in order to use the calculator, okay? This next one right here is 3 divided by 6 equals 0.5. Are all these equaling 0.5? Yeah, because take a look. They all are half. 50 is half of 100. 100 is half of 200. Let's take this one. 3/10 won't be 0.5. Okay? 3 divided by 10 equals 3/10. 1/4. How would this look? 1 divided by 4 equals 0.25. We're going to keep going with some more practice here. There are 12 counters in a set. How many counters are 3/4? So I have 3/4, and I want to know what 3/4 equals. Remember, numerators and denominators. 12 counters in the set, so that means 12 is my denominator because that's the whole. Let's keep going here. I got 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 equals 9. So how many counters would be 3/4 of the set? 9 counters would be 3/4 of the set. Next one. There's 18 counters in the set, so I know 18 is my denominator. How many counters are 2/9 of the set? 2/9 equals blank over 18. 9 times 2 is 18. 2 times 2 is 4. How many counters are 2/9 of the set? 4. Let's keep going. There are 24 counters in a set. That means 24 is my denominator. How many counters are 5, 6? Basic facts here. 6 times 4 is 24. 5 times 4 is 20. So how many counters would be 5, 6? 20 would be. If there are 12 counters in 2/3 of the set, ding, 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 12 in 2/3, that means 12 is my numerator. It is not the whole. I'm trying to find the whole, so I have to leave that blank. What would 2/3 be? Take a look. 2 times 6 is 12, so 3 times 6 is 18. That is my whole set. We keep going here. There are 15 counters in 3/5 of the set, so that means my 15 is the numerator. How many are in the whole set? 3/5 to 15 times 5 equals 25 in the whole set. We keep on going. If there's 32 counters in 4/5 of the set, that means 32 is not the whole. How many counters are in the whole? That's what I'm trying to find out. All right? So, if I'm trying to find that out, that means I have 32 up top. 4/5 equal that number. 4 times 8 equals 32, so 5 times 8 equals 40. That's how many are in my whole set. Put the following fractions as decimals. Remember, 10, 100, or 1,000, anything with a multiple of 10, I can just write it as a decimal right away. Okay? So this would be 0.07, because that means the 7 is in the hundredths place. I'm going to write the following as decimal. This 16 I can't put into 10, 100, or 1,000, so I have to use my calculator. I'm going to go 7 divided by 16 equals, that's my decimal. And I'm going to round it to the nearest hundredth place, so I have 0.4. The 7 is going to round the 3 up to be 44 hundredths. Here's another one, which is closer to 0.25. So we're trying to get to 0.25. I've got 2 fractions here. You're going to see problems like this tomorrow in your assignment. Don't worry, they're going to be simple. I'm going to change 2/9 into a decimal. This is how I do it. 2 divided by 9 equals 0.2 continuous, right? I'm going to go ahead and erase that. 3 divided by 9 equals 0.3 continuous. Now, from what I did earlier on, about 8 minutes ago, this is how you solve this. Which is closer to this number? I've got 0.22. I've got 0.33. My difference here is -3. My difference here is -8. Do you see how I'm subtracting? Remember, I'm pretending it's 22. I'm pretending it's 25. I'm pretending it's 33. -3 is my lower, my subtraction. So that means 2/9 is closer to 0.25. Let's do another one of these. We have 0.8. Which one's closer to 0.8? Well, I'm going to write this as 0.80, right? That's what this would look like. So I have to find out 6/8 as a decimal. 6 divided by 8 equals 0.75. 5 divided by 6 equals 0.83. Now tomorrow you're going to see these problems. I know some of you are going to come in and go, Mr. Green, I forgot how to do this. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is go back and look at the video, okay? I'm breaking this down pretty close. So, simple. Let's look here. 0.75, 0.83. What is the difference? Remember, we're kind of reading these as 75 and 80. If I subtract those, I'd get 5. 83 and 83, I subtract those, I'd get a 3. That means this one is closer to 80. 5, 6 is the answer I would circle. 0.60. I'm going to do this last problem, okay? 4/7, all it is 4 divided by 7 equals. I'm looking here, the 1. You can't round it, so I have 0.7. My bad. 0.57, right, kids? Erase this mark I have put here. Okay, I'm going to clear this out. 7 divided by 12 equals. The 3 would not round the 8 up, so I have 0.58. I'm going to go ahead and write these things down. I'm going to subtract them. I'm going to pretend it's 57 and 60, so that's minus 3, minus 2. 2 beats the 3, 2 is closer. That means 7/12 is closer. I sure hope this helps you a little bit with your assignment tomorrow. You're going to get to use a calculator in class. Just remember the numerator divided by the denominator will give you the decimal. Okay. All right. Good luck, and hopefully this helps for your lesson tomorrow.